Hi there, I'm Eric Wordweaver Sjerven, Goathe of the Ridgar folk here in East Texas, and I would like to welcome you to The Raven's Call. This is a show where I ramble on about different heathen-related subjects, just kind of whatever strikes my fancy at the time, sets my mind on fire. And big UPG warning at the beginning of all these episodes, like always. I am what you call a middle-of-the-road modern heathen. I am not what some would refer to as a historical heathen or a hardcore recon, as I frequently like to call them. I'm also not what I would refer to as a fluffy bunny, neo-pagan, Wicca-true kind of guy. I am very much a middle-of-the-road guy, modern heathen. So take that as you will, and use that to inform the views on the videos. My videos are only intended to kind of spark conversation and to get you thinking maybe a little outside the box, maybe looking at things from a different angle. I do not pretend to be the end-all be-all on anything heathen-related. My views don't necessarily reflect those of greater heathenry, and certainly don't reflect necessarily all of the heathens I know, let alone even my own tribe. There's many different versions of heathenry as there are versions of as many heathens in the world. So, as you guys can see, I am filming on location here. If you hear any noises in the background, it's because we have a ton of animals, and this is just kind of the environment that I get to work with. I had a crazy work week, so I'm having to film on location in order to try and get something out to you guys in time. Lighting's not spectacular because it's sunset and the sun's going down, but we're going to try and get something in anyway. So this one may not be as long because I am fighting sunset, but we'll see. I actually kind of like filming out here. It's a lot of fun, and I love the whole East Texas woodland is the background. It's just my property, and I love it. It's kind of awesome. So anyway, do forgive any kind of background noise or anything like that. It just kind of comes with filming out in rural East Texas. If you guys enjoy these videos, please hit like and subscribe, all that down below. Interact with the videos. I try to get back with you as much as I can. Get some great video ideas from what I see on there. And so I'm really excited anytime I get the comments and the likes and the shares, because it gets it around. People see it. It's just really cool, and I love to get that whole experience of sharing all of this with you guys and getting your feedback and understanding what it is you guys want to hear more about. And so a couple of upcoming show ideas have actually come from ideas from you guys. So thank you guys in advance. I really appreciate it. All my contact information is down below, P.O. Box, email address, all that stuff. Now on to today's subject. Now this is something that's this is a little bit out of my wheelhouse. We don't frequently get to talk about breaking news or, ongoing news in the world of modern heathenry. And this is something that I find kind of cool because we don't usually get to do. So I wanted to talk to you guys about it while it's still time relevant and not have to wait forever to get it out there and be, day late, dollar short, everybody's done talking about it. But I'm sure all of you guys have seen this going around, this deal with the trademark on the term heathen. And I thought I'd look into it a little bit on the side, see what I could figure out, and figure out what's actually going on, who's doing what, and where this stuff is going. Everybody and their dog has done videos on it, done commentary on it. It's usually all emotionally driven. There's a lot of good information out there too, but people are very much up in arms about this, and I get why. You see the whole, my religion's not a trademark kind of thing. And very much so, I agree with these sentiments. I agree with these ideas. It's very much a thing where this Yahoo out here is, and I do say Yahoo because this is ridiculous. All right, I'm going to make my stance perfectly clear going into this thing. I am completely against what this guy's doing. I think it's BS, and I honestly think the Trademark Commission needs to have their heads examined for okaying this. But there's also an understandable side to it too, which we'll touch on here in a minute. Okay, so first off, the concept at hand is that this gentleman by the name of David Lancaster has put out a trademark application that apparently was approved, and he has trademarked the term heathen with relation to, specifically, stickers and like drinking attire. Things like that, drinking attire, drinking implements, cups, mugs, things like that. I did not see anything, because I did look at the actual application, the patent application and everything, and it did not mention anything outside the realm of those particular items. I'd have to go back and look again, but from what I can see, the patent is for the use of the term heathen in relation to the stickers, decal kind of thing, printed on cardboard with stickums and all that stuff, and then of course the drinking utensils, the mugs and glasses and things like that. Now, there's a lot of up in the air because everybody's like, well, what about my t-shirts? What about this? What about that? And that doesn't necessarily fall under his trademark as he's got it, from my understanding. Keep in mind, I am not a patent lawyer, so I do not know all of the ins and outs. This is a layman going in who's got some experience with working with courts and the law and stuff like that because of my industry. But in reality, I am not a patent lawyer, so I couldn't begin to say, he definitely has this, he didn't. No, it's not how that works. So, but what I gather is that's what's going on. However, I have seen people from Reddit and Facebook and some of the other social media sites go out and say that he has sent cease and desist letters for their industries. Now, one of the ones that I know of for certain does heathen-related vinyl decals, and that definitely crosses over into the realm of his patent. So I understand why that one was getting challenged, why they were sending out the the cease and desist, C&D, on that to them. I understand why, on the basis of the patent and the law, why this was being sent out. I think it's bull. I don't think that it should have been sent out. I don't think that this guy has any claim or any right to the term heathen as a trademark. It's ridiculous. And we're going to get into, again, why I feel that way here in a second. But to give a full round out on this, there's also an individual over on the other side of the pond, if you'll recall, Grimfrost. These guys have gone in and trademarked actually a few terms. Some of the god names, from what I understand. I haven't looked at their patent in as much. I just don't know how to get to that as easy. 5 more minutes on Google and I probably could have put my hands on it, but I was trying to get in before the sun went down. I'm rapidly losing sunlight. So, from what I understand though, these guys have a much broader trademark attempt going on here, and they're hitting a lot more terms within the heathen sphere. However, they have also come out and publicly noted that it's specific to their branding stuff, and that it doesn't bear any kind of issues for heathen tribes or organizations or anything like that. Basically what they said is, hey, we're doing this to protect these terms so that idiots like this David Lancaster can't do the same thing over here or in these other areas, because from what I understand, they're hitting other areas for use of the term as well. So they're using it more like a preemptive strike is what I gather from their public note. Now, how much stock do you put into that? I don't know. I don't personally know the guys over at Grimfrost, but I do know that they put out quality stuff for the most part. I mean, there's here and there. But from what I understand, the stuff that I've seen has been quality. I don't necessarily agree with all their views, but not my hall, not my call. I mean, they're over there in the UK, Scotland area. And so from what I understand, their patents are in the Scotland, England, Wales kind of area, from what I gather. So that's a different ballpark, but again, patents are international law, so we end up with some crossover there. The idea is that they're trying to run shield wall on these terms, effectively, to put it in heathen terms. They're trying to run shield wall on these terms. They're trying to protect them and keep them from being abused and being taken out of our hands by dodgy lawyers and dirty industry people who want to make a buck off of something like this. Now, this David Lancaster guy, his brand is Heathen Nation. Don't go look it up, guys. Don't give him the clicks. Don't give him any kind of gravitas, whatever. Now, from what I understand, according to patent law, a patent can be challenged through the use of a petition. Generally speaking, most petitions that you see circulate online are useless. They do nothing more than call attention to something and make somebody on the other end of a keyboard feel good about entering this. Not to mention, most petitions are not actually all that applicable. They're easy to blow holes in because you can fake so many signatures on a digital petition. It's unreal. All you got to do is ghost in IPs and all kinds of stuff. It's really, really easy to falsify an online petition. So I don't usually sign petitions because I don't think they carry any weight personally. And if they do, then I think less of the people that take them seriously typically. I mean, court-wise, not individuals out here in the field, because you're impassioned about something. Yes, you want to sign that petition. I get it. 9 times out of 10, it is an empty yelling at the void kind of thing, because they're not, most of the time, admissible in court. They don't really do much. This one, from what I understand, may actually have some weight. So I recommend folks go out and get it. I am going to go out of my way here in just a few minutes to go dig up the link for it and try and include it in the show notes so that you guys can have access to that. Solely because this guy needs to be put in his place. This is ridiculous. The standard point that I come across is that it's a term for a religion. It's a name for a religion. If someone were going to go through and try and, trademark the term like Christian or the term Jewish or the term Hindu or something like that, it would never fly. It would never get through the patent laws because it just wouldn't hold up. They would reject that by virtue of it not being a trademarkable term. Now, technically speaking, I don't think heathen falls into the realm of the term being trademarked so much as the graphic and intended use of the term. So just because they've trademarked the term heathen, they have trademarked the term heathen, and I'm referring to David Lancaster and Heathen Nation in this point. They have trademarked the term heathen in use for their specific sellable items. They are sending out cease and desist letters, or at least his lawyer is, sending out cease and desist letters to small, especially Etsy shops and things like that, because they're easy targets. These people don't have the money to challenge with a lawyer, and he knows that. They can get them shut down and cut out the competition. It's an easy, cowardly move to sit here, and I'm throwing down the glove, I know, but it is a cowardly move to sit here and trademark this term and then use it to shut your competition out simply because you want to sell your brand of shirts. And dudes, I've looked at the shirts. They're not impressive. They're your typical Brosa-True, way over the top, I'm a Viking, die in battle, go to ball. One of them has got the freaking the war headdress from Native American war headdress on a skeleton skull, and then Heathen Nation on it. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is inapplicable. This is ridiculous. I don't even understand why they thought this was a good idea. So, that I'm not reviewing their shirts. I'm simply talking about the situation at hand. Yes, this is a thing. Yes, this is out there. And yes, the patent was approved from what I can see. So this patent now needs to be challenged. And somebody needs to step up who has gotten the cease and desist and challenge the patent. Because patents get challenged all the time. Just because it got approved doesn't mean it's going to stand the test of time. It can be shut down. It can be driven out. All you've got to do is get the right challenge in there at the right time, and it can be done. The big thing, of course, is that, there are legal fees and there are lawyers involved. And, I saw one of the cease and desist letters that was sent out to one of the shops that I really like. They posted it up all over Facebook and everything. And the only thing that it includes is a link to email the lawyer for Heathen Nation. It's like, you can contact their lawyer. Yeah, that's going to do you a lot of good. It's not going to do you any good. He's the one sending out the cease and desist letters. He's going to stand the party line, and he's not going to listen to your challenge. He's not. I mean, unless you call up and say, hey, we're not even the same thing. What are you doing? And then he might back down because he'll realize that he doesn't have any leg to stand on. But I can't guarantee that. I don't know the guy. I haven't interacted with the guy. I don't have a clue. I don't have anything out there that I'm selling with the term heathen on it. As you guys know, I don't really sell a whole lot with the channel other than my book. Which, if you haven't checked out my book, please do. Shameless plug, need sales. They've gone quiet on me. So anyway, the gist here is that there's some really good heathen artists. And if you guys haven't seen my previous episodes, episode 100 was entirely about heathen artisans because they mean something to me. I think this is extremely important in the modern era to have active artists who are currently creating things, who are putting things out there, and who are sharing culture, their culture, the culture of their tribe, of their hearth out in the greater world. I don't like to globalize when it comes to heathenry because I don't think that there is a globalized arch heathenry. But I do feel like these individual cultures, these individual tribal cultures need to be celebrated. And they can't do that if idiots are out here manipulating and abusing patent law in order to shut them out. It is ridiculous. There is no reason in the world this guy can't sell his shirts with all his Heathen Nation branding on it and have any competition with some of these others. Because I guarantee you The one that I'm thinking about in particular, who got a cease and desist letter, the people that are buying their stuff are not buying his stuff. And they're not going to buy his stuff if he shuts these people down. It's not going to work. You're not going to cross over as far as your clientele goes. They're different demographics. I mean, you want to hit up another Brosatru kind of line and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, you're dealing with your competition at that point. So most of these people are not their competition, as I've shown. They are mom and pop shops who are trying to put out just heathen stuff. They're trying to put out things that mean something to them and that there's a piece of their hearts, you know. And they're putting it out there for people that want it. So you've got sellers and buyers, and this guy's not involved at all until he steps in with patent law and says, nope, you can't do that because I want your business. Guess what? You're not getting the business anyway. Nobody's going to go buy that stuff just because you shut down the mom and pop. Because when I want to go and buy something like, okay, Beloved Viking Vinyls. I love these guys. Great stuff. If you haven't checked them out, check them out. Free plug for those guys because I love their stuff. They're awesome. Great heathens. Good stuff. Check them out. That's directly in the wheelhouse of this patent law aspect. So if you check them out and you look at their page, you will see they have items on there that say heathen. A lot of them are cute. A lot of them are just awesome. Everything they put out is quality. I love their stuff. I will buy their stuff all day long. I will not buy anything from Heathen Nation, ever. And I wouldn't have before this, because I don't like their stuff. I just don't. I'm not besmirching their character or their, there's no slander going on here. I just don't like their stuff. I'm not endorsing their stuff. I don't like it. I don't like what they put out. I think it's stupid. But I do like the stuff that some of these other shops put out. And they're getting grief. And it's ridiculous. So if you guys are out there and you have a heathen shop and you've got stuff going on, hit them up. Sign the petition if you can. If they hit you with a cease and desist and you can, challenge it. I realize not everybody can go through and do the challenge process. I wouldn't ask you to. I get it. You don't have the money. I wouldn't have the money to go and do it. I don't have anything in their wheelhouse, but if I did, I would have a hard time, and I'd have to come up. I'd probably try and find some way to come up with the money. But nonetheless, the point at hand is someone out there does. Someone out there can take it on and shut it down. Now, this is not the first time something like this has happened. This has happened before. I was looking up and I saw another case. I don't remember exactly what it was off the top of my head because I caught it briefly as I was prepping for this episode. But it does have a precedent where someone else tried to do the whole heathen trademark thing and got shut down. I did see another one overseas, I think it was. I think it was over in... over in the Scandinavia area where two beer companies were going head to head, and one of them, they were both kind of tandem trying to trademark the names of the gods, specifically in use for the beer. But I mean, they were trying to trademark the names of the gods in order to, lock them down for their particular lines. That was ridiculous too. Most everything I saw on it was like, this is ridiculous, guys. What are you doing? Come on. So, patent law is dodgy. It is ridiculous. And honestly, patent law and copyright law are two of the dirtiest areas of law that you can get into, next to tax law. But there have been so many corporations over the years that have manipulated tax law, that have lobbied to get laws passed in order to extend their trademarks or their copyrights. Disney's one of the worst of these. The Disney company they're responsible for 98%. It's a made-up statistic, but 98%, whatever. Let's go with it. Of American patent and copyright law because of Mickey Mouse. In order to maintain their copyrights and trademarks and everything pertaining to Mickey Mouse, they're actively fighting to extend trademarks and copyright lengths and to extend the grasp of what it can do. They are some of the most litigious individuals on the planet as far as defending their copyrights and their trademarks. Why? Because they fight so hard to get these laws into place that in order to have these laws upheld, they need to have a track record of, smiting anyone who remotely tries to use their stuff and comes to their attention. They kind of have to, because if they're seen as not, then they're going to... So, this whole thing, like, I mentioned before why I get why these things are being sent out. Again, that I kind of explained with the whole, it's just because they're trying to shut out their competition kind of thing. This doesn't mean that just because I can explain a behavior that I excuse a behavior. So that's what I'm saying here, guys. This is reprehensible. This is unforgivable. This needs to be shut down. And it's stupid. That's the big thing. It's stupid. Everybody's getting super emotional in it. And there are some individuals that do deserve to be, because I have seen people manipulate the law and completely ruin other people's lives or completely ruin their industry and their business. And it's just not right. It's just not fair. I'm not okay with it anytime that it happens. And this definitely is one of those instances in industries where there's no place for it. There's no reason in the world why anyone should trademark the name of a religion and lock it down and then cause everybody grief. You know, I get, like, individuals like Grimfrost, for the most part, I believe that they actually do, at least at this point in time, intend to be kind of a vanguard shield wall for the terms. I legitimately think that's their motivation behind it, at least from what I've seen of their interactions online. I don't have any reason to believe otherwise. I don't have any reason to believe otherwise than that Heathen Nation is locking them down solely to drive out competition and to put a cinch pin in the whole, you know, I guess stickers category? I don't know. I mean, t-shirts. And t-shirts weren't in the patent. I don't understand it. So unless it has something to do with the applications used on the t-shirts, then it makes sense. If they're using some kind of, if the patent includes whatever kind of applique they're using to put them on the shirts, that makes sense. And then I understand, and it's still BS, and they still need to be shut down for it. Mostly, I just think people need to not buy their stuff and protest. So, not that many, I guess some might, but not that most of my viewers would be shopping over at Heathen Nation anyway, I don't think. I just don't get a feeling that's the particular demographic that I draw into the channel. So, anyway, that's kind of where we are on that right now, guys. It's kind of breaking news. It's new stuff. It's ongoing right now as we speak. And so, I'm interested to see what kind of experiences other people have had. If anybody's had some luck beating patent law issues like this before, successful challenges to BS patents and things like that, that'd be awesome. If you've got horror stories about this guy hitting you up, let us know. I can't do much with it on the channel, but we can get the word out and we can get everybody to pay attention to it and then sign the petition. You know, at worst, it doesn't hurt. You know, it may not help, but it doesn't hurt. So that's kind of my thoughts on that one. This is one petition that I will sign. I don't usually sign petitions like I explained earlier, but this one I'll sign, and there's a reason for that, because I don't think these guys should get away with this. I think it's stupid, I think it's silly, and I'm tired of playing games. I'm tired of people playing games, and everybody wants to get upset and yell and rant and rave online and talk a bunch of crap on channels like mine, like I'm doing now. But there's not necessarily a whole lot of advocating action going on. There's some specific individuals that have a good measure of it and advocate the right kind of action. And I'd like to see that for people. I would like to see people actively doing something. It's doers, you know, actions and deeds. We are our deeds. So, you know, are we going to sit by idly and watch this go down and see these people just make a mess of things? Because ultimately speaking, it's not the end of the world in the grand scheme of things, but it is the end of some shops. Or at least the end of some lines on some specific shops. I mean, specific products. It's not like it's going to shut down anybody's shop entirely. You can still do heathen-related stuff without the use of the term heathen. It's a modern term anyway. The way we use it is modern. It's a modern usage of an old term. But the way we use it is a modern moniker that we've taken on. I've actually been challenged in the comments before about my use of the term heathen. And I got news for you folks. I like the term heathen. I'm going to use it. I like it. It represents, you know, Northern European Germanic paganism to me. That's just, heathen sums it up, you know. I've embraced that. Yes, I realize it was used as a derogatory term by more monotheistic religions in the past. I realize that it basically essentially means anyone that's not Christian as far as its original vernacular use. But in the common vernacular, it is more of a generalized Germanic, Norse kind of rebirth of this Northern European paganism. And it's a term that's easy, it's bite-sized, it gets the point across, and I like it. It feels good. It's the people of the heath. The en suffix means the folk of. It's the folk of the heath. And so that's me. This is my heath. I live in the country. It's what I do. I love it. And so, yeah, heathen is something that's piece of my heart. I like the term, so I'm going to use the term. And that's how I identify myself. I'm tribal heathen. Well, tribal's a dodgy term, but you guys know where I stand on the whole tribal thing. I don't brook any kind of racism, so I get tired of people challenging with that. But anyway, when it comes to the patent thing, this is why it's important. People want stuff that says heathen because they identify by that term. You wouldn't do this to a Christian, you wouldn't do this to a Jew, a Hindu, a Muslim. Why do you think you can get away with it on heathen? Well, another point I was going to come back to. They can get away with it because heathenry is not necessarily widely understood to be a religion. It is, or even a culture. It's seen as a term, a word in the dictionary. If you had a heathen patent lawyer in there, then we could challenge some stuff, and it probably never would have gotten passed in the first place. Most people don't even know that heathens are a thing. Most people don't know that heathenry is a thing, that this culture, this religion, this folkway exists, that there are people out here who identify by that term as their religion. In this modern era of, identity politics and dodgy PC stuff, they probably would not have even towed into this if they knew it was going to cause the firestorm that it does. It's just one of those things, even if they necessarily didn't see it as a big religion, I still find it hard to believe that the patent office would have okayed, Satanism or something like that. I don't see them okaying a trademark on that term simply because they recognize it is a religion. They may not agree with it, but they recognize the firestorm that would come from trying to trademark that thing. Most people just don't know that heathenry is a thing and that heathenism is a folkway, a religion, a culture. And so, I get why we're here. It's building in its popularity. It's building in its understanding. Name recognition is getting out there. The more that we see things come up that's all Vikings and stuff, the more you're going to see the term come into the popular vernacular. I'm not sure I necessarily want it in the popular vernacular, but whatever. But you got to keep in mind, too, that unlike some of those big religions that have just one term to describe the basis of their religion, heathenry is only one of the terms that we use to describe this particular branch of paganism. Because we are a sub-branch of paganism, technically speaking. If you really boil it down, I don't like to use the term pagan when it comes to heathenry because most of the time the connotation with paganism is more of the kind of the Celtic, UK, Welsh kind of aesthetic that goes along with that. Heavily influenced by modern Wicca and just general neo-paganism, heavy focus on the Celtic and this general UK area, as opposed to the more Germanic, Northern European elements, which the term heathen tends to encompass. So, that's just one of those things that's breakdown in terms why I kind of go the way that I do on that one. But that's not the only term that we use. There's those that identify as Odinist, those that identify as Asatru, those that just define themselves as Northern European pagans, which is kind of a mouthful, but hey, not my hell, not my call. That's a thing, It muddies the waters, is what it does, really. It makes it more difficult for us to have a clear line stance on, and I'm overgeneralizing with the term us, but you know what I mean. It makes it difficult, especially when you've got no singular entity. There's no singular church that you can go to fight this. There's no singular national org that's going to fight this. There are national orgs that may step up and do something about this, but they don't speak for the rest of us. No, the ones that are going to challenge it and they're going to get something done need to come from the grassroots. It's the mom and pop stores that need to band together in either class action lawsuit or challenge whatever they can do. I don't know, not a patent lawyer again, But something to challenge this and knock it out of the ring. One good punch, knock it out, be done with it. And shut this guy down, get him locked out. And then we can set some precedent for these terms to not be trademarked, you know? I get trademarking like a font and a usage, okay, that's understandable if it's the image of your brand. I get trademarking like a bind rune that you build, because that's a logo at that point. You know, I get that. That makes sense. You know, if your band has a logo, you're going to trademark it. Totally right. I get it. Absolutely. Similar with tribes. I get it if you want to trademark your bind rune. Totally get that. So, you know, it all gets into weird spaces, and most of the time we don't even think about it because most heathens aren't this dodgy. All right, real heathens that I see are not this dodgy, for the most part. What I see are people that go out there and just want to be. That's part of the reason they came to heathenry in the first place. They don't want to get mixed up in the drama. They don't want to get mixed up in all of the BS-ery that goes along with fighting over terms and fighting over patent law and whatnot. They don't want to screw other people over. They may want to win in the arena of, you know, who's got the better wares, who does the better wood burning, who does the better vinyls, but they're not going to, most of the time that I've seen, not going to be as dirty. Now, people are people. That's going to happen. I just haven't run into it as much in the circles that I run in. But I surround myself with good people because I judge by deeds. And so that's kind of, I've got really good artists around me that I got a lot of respect for that play on the up and up. And so I want to see that, you know. This kind of stuff that comes in like this usually does not come from those people that I would really consider as true heathens for the most part. Again, I don't know this David Lancaster guy, so I'm not going to try and besmirch his character or anything like that, because I can't. I don't know him. I don't know if he's a good heathen or not. I have no idea. So I'm not going to say he's not. I'm going to say generally, as a generalization, most of the time I see these kind of things come from an area where they're not really what I would call heathen in the first place. But it is what it is. Unlike the guys over at Grimfrost, who seem to be taking a proactive stance utilizing the same tactic, but with the effort towards trying to shut down this tomfoolery. I have some respect for that, provided that it doesn't get stupid, and later on they decide to flip the story and suddenly start abusing that power that they have built up by trademarking these terms. Same reason I don't like national orgs. I don't like that kind of power being consolidated into one space. That doesn't make me comfortable. You know, the whole... There used to be this joke running around. Anytime somebody would get too big for their britches in the Midwest, Midwest and South, we're not technically Midwest where we are, but we interact with a lot of Midwestern heathens. So anyway, because East Texas and Northern Texas. Anyway, there was this term running around. It was a joke term that we would call anybody who seemed to be getting too big for their britches within the heathen sphere and assuming too much responsibility in speaking for everybody, and we would call them the Asa Pope. Yes, this was derisional, the idea that there's some singular leader for the religion of Asatru or heathenry, and yeah. So that's kind of the feel that I get off of this kind of a scenario, and I don't like it. You know, I don't like when people try and to, you know, shoehorn all of that power into one place. That's not right. That's not heathenry. Heathenry doesn't work top down. Heathenry works bottom up. Yes, there were kings and chieftains and whatnot, but they were for their people. This isn't about the people. This is individuals putting themselves way high over everybody else. Now, like I said, the Grimfrost guys seem to be on the up and up for this, so cool. I actually have some respect for them stepping up and putting up a shield wall and protection. I'm going to be guarded in seeing how they utilize this over time, because they are a business. And so a lot of the business things that they have done seem to have had heathens in mind. They seem to be in the best interest of some heathens. And so I'm kind of okay with that. I think if anybody's going to be on the up and up about this, they probably are. I don't have any reason right now, with my knowledge as I have it at the moment, to think otherwise. So we're going to go with that for the time being. This David Lancaster guy, not so on the up and up as far as I can tell. It's a dodgy maneuver, manipulating and abusing American patent law in order to lock down and block out some competition. And it's dodgy, it's not cool, and he needs to be put in his place. So, legally speaking, he needs to understand that, yeah, okay, protect your brand, totally protect your brand, market your brand, put it out there, brand recognition, all that stuff. Heathen ain't your brand, dude. It's not. Heathen's not a brand. Heathen's a culture. Heathen is a religion. It's a folk way. Not a brand. Don't trademark my religion, man. Not cool. Not cool. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback. Let me know. I know this was a bit particularly ranty for one of my videos, but I am kind of moved on this subject at the moment, and I haven't really spoken out about it because I wanted to get some more information. I wanted to take some time to actually get a handle on this and see what was going around. I didn't want to fly off half-cocked and not have some kind of information. I don't really like it when people do that. I wanted to be at least somewhat informed by it, lay my eyes on the patent itself, and kind of look at what other people are saying as far as their own experiences with it. Are cease and desists going out? Because it was entirely possible the guy was just locking it in for his company and that he wasn't going to be... yeah. Anyway, he wasn't going to be a troll about it. But guess what, guys? He did. He is. He's a patent troll. And so patent trolls do patent troll things. And this is just one of those things. It's just coming into the realm of heathenry. And it's not the first time. It is not the first time. Patent trolls need to be shut down. You know, one thing that's for certain, he's gotten a lot of publicity for his stuff. People are seeing it now because people are talking about it. He's gonna make some sales just simply because people are talking about it. How many times have I said Heathen Nation in this particular video? Every one of those is free advertising for the guy. So it's a thing. That's how it works, and it's working. So keep that in mind as we go forward too. But yeah, I mean, it'll get shut down. It'll go away. People are gonna do what they need to do. They're gonna challenge the patent. Everything's gonna go away, and everything's gonna go back to normal. It's cool. It's fine. Damage may have been done, though. He may have all the publicity he needs to up his sales. That's all I'm saying. So think about that. Don't buy stuff if that is the way that you feel. If you want to protest it, that is a way you can. Okay? If you want to buy it, well, then not my hall, not my call. But that is an avenue to challenge his intended purpose. So at least as far as I can tell, don't know the guy, can't read his mind. I am guessing at his purpose. But I think it's a pretty good guess. So anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Promise next week won't be quite so ranty. Back to some more heathen-related subjects that'll be a little bit more on point. So hail to you all. Thank you. May your hearth fires burn bright. It's cool. All good. All good. Guinness extra stout to do without. Pleasures of being able to film at home. Bloopers, bloopers, bloopers. Maybe I can fit at least one in. Crappy work week means no film time. Also means no warm-up time. Yes. Guinness extra stout or do without. That's my way. Anyway. All right. Let's see what we can do here. I've been singing Toss a Coin to my Witcher all day. It's stuck in my head. I love that song. Anyway, all right, we're ready in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. That's a really bad intro. Cut it. I always mess the intros up. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. All right, checking on my mic. Checking on the mic. Keep the intro. Intro's fine. Intro's fine. All right, ready? And we're live in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Now, kill it. Back in 3, 2, 1, let's jam. With a pause. Man, I hate when I forget a word, and it's like an easy word, you know? Petition. I couldn't say petition. I kept wanting to say survey, which is stupid. All right, let's try that again. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Anyway, we're back in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Cut. Toss a coin to your witcher, O Valley of Plenty.